The Gucci display crashed to the floor. My hands hit cold marble as I wrapped my arms around my 7-month belly. Designer bags scattered around me like broken dreams. Baby onuses flew everywhere. Stay down where you belong, Amara. Hiroshi Takeda stood over me. His expensive shoe still raised from shoving me. Behind him, his fiancée Yuki watched with cold eyes. Her red lips curved into a cruel smile. My wrist screamed with pain. My dress ripped at the knee. Blood appeared on my palm from the broken glass. But worse than all of that was the fear pounding in my chest. The baby. Please, God, let my baby be okay. Whose baby is that? Hiroshi's voice dripped poison. Because it's definitely not mine. You probably trapped another rich Japanese man the second I threw you out. This couldn't be happening. Not here in Shibuya Shopping Center. Not after 11 months of rebuilding my shattered life. This has nothing to do with you, I whispered, trying to stand. Let me go. Yuki laughed. Sharp and hateful. She doesn't even know who the father is. Is this how you African girls operate? Get pregnant and find someone rich to pay. The words hit like fists. I had heard those exact words before. From Hiroshi's mother, right before they threw me into the Tokyo rain 11 months ago. You probably lost my baby on purpose, Hiroshi said, circling me like a hunter. Then got pregnant by someone else for money. My face went white. Lost on purpose. The memories slammed back. That terrible night. Hiroshi's family estate in the mountains. His mother's rage burning in her eyes. My son has someone chosen for him. You think we'd let him ruin his life for a black foreigner and her trap baby? Being shoved into pouring rain. 4 months pregnant. Running blindly through Tokyo streets, sobbing in the dark. Cars honking. Lights blurring through my tears. The silver Lexus. Screeching brakes. Strong arms pulling me back from death. The hospital. White lights. The terrible cramping. The blood. I almost died that night. My voice shook. I lost your baby. And the man who saved me is the father of this child. Hiroshi's face flushed red with anger. You're lying. He grabbed my arm hard. I pulled away. He shoved me harder. I stumbled backward. My heel caught on the scattered clothes. Time slowed down like in a nightmare. My hands reached desperately for my belly, protecting my daughter from the impact coming. I couldn't stop falling. I crashed into another display. Sharp metal bit into my ribs. Glass shattered everywhere. Pain exploded across my back and shoulders. 2 men in black suits appeared from nowhere. They grabbed Hiroshi's arms and pulled him back. Get off me! Hiroshi shouted. Do you know who I am? My family owns half of Tokyo. Your family means nothing here, one man said in perfect English with a Japanese accent. My phone skittered across the shiny floor. The caller ID glowed bright. I reached for it with shaking, bleeding hands. Everything hurt, but only the baby mattered now. Another rich Japanese man. Yuki sneered, looking at my phone. Is that even his baby? Or are you running another scam? My hands trembled as I grabbed the phone and answered. Amara. What's wrong? His voice cut through the chaos. Sharp with concern and love. I'm at the mall, I said. My voice cracked with fear. I fell. The baby. Kenji's voice dropped to ice. The voice that made powerful men afraid. Are you hurt? Is our daughter hurt? I don't know, I whispered. Tears ran down my face. Stay there. Don't move. A pause. I heard him barking orders in Japanese to his men. Then his voice returned, deadly calm. Who's with you? I looked at Hiroshi. Recognition was dawning in his cruel eyes. He was finally understanding who I had married. My ex-boyfriend. Hiroshi Takeda. Silence. The kind that comes before storms and earthquakes. The one whose family chased you into traffic. Kenji's voice was quiet. Too quiet. The one whose baby you lost. Yes. Good. Something in his voice made me shiver despite the pain. I've wanted to meet him. Keep him there, Amara. I'm coming. Hiroshi whispered, strangled. Kenji Yamamoto. You're married to Kenji Yamamoto. His eyes went wide with fear. Yuki's smug smile disappeared completely. Yes, I said quietly. The man who saved my life when your family tried to destroy it. The man who held me while I bled out your baby, I continued. My voice grew stronger. The man who's been praying for this moment. Hiroshi's knees buckled. He sagged against Kenji's security men who held him firmly. I pushed myself up slowly, wincing at every movement. Crowds gathered around us. Security guards hovered uncertainly. Nobody knew what to do. The Takeda family had power, but so did Kenji Yamamoto. You have 10 minutes before he gets here, I said quietly, hand pressed over my belly. I felt a small kick. Relief flooded through me. She was moving. Still alive. Still fighting. I suggest you start praying, I whispered. Through the glass entrance, black vehicles pulled up. Not one, not two. A whole motorcade. Doors opened together like a synchronized dance. Men in dark suits emerged like shadows. At the center, moving with deadly grace, was my husband, Kenji Yamamoto. The mall held its breath. Conversations died. People stepped back without deciding to move. Something primal made them afraid. All black. Suit, shirt, tie. Like he'd dressed for a funeral. His face looked carved from stone. Beautiful and terrifying at the same time. His eyes found mine across the crowded mall. Everything else stopped existing. He crossed to me in long, purposeful steps. His men fanned out behind him. People scattered like leaves in wind. Kenji dropped to his knees beside me. His hands hovered over my body, afraid to hurt me more. Anata, he said softly in Japanese. My love. Where does it hurt? Did you feel the baby move? His hands, the same hands that had broken bones and destroyed enemies, trembled as they checked me over gently. She's moving, I whispered. I think she's okay. He closed his eyes briefly. When they opened, all the tenderness was gone. Only cold remained. Hospital. Now. He stood, facing Hiroshi. The transformation was instant. The loving husband disappeared. What remained made grown men step back in fear. Hiroshi Takeda. Not a question. A promise of consequences. Mr. Yamamoto, I didn't know. You didn't know the pregnant woman you kicked was my wife. Or that she's carrying my daughter. Both. I swear, I didn't. You thought she still carried your baby. Kenji's voice remained pleasant. Somehow more terrifying. The one she lost because your family threw her into traffic. Hiroshi's face went through shock, confusion, then denial. She lost it. She never told me. You blocked her number, Kenji said coldly. Pretended she didn't exist. Celebrated your engagement while she bled. Complete silence fell over everyone watching. Even Yuki stood frozen now, no longer smiling. Let me tell you what happened that night, Kenji continued. His voice stayed pleasant, which made it worse. She ran into the street, broken with grief. Stepped in front of my car. I barely stopped in time. Yuki gasped despite herself. Tokyo General Hospital. 4 hours of bleeding while doctors tried to save your baby. A son, by the way. Kenji crouched to Hiroshi's level. Hiroshi had slid down the wall. She lost your son at 16 weeks while you celebrated getting engaged to someone else. I didn't know, Hiroshi whispered. You didn't want to know. There's a difference. Kenji's eyes were black ice. I promised her that night. If I ever met the man who destroyed her, I'd make him understand what he took. Please, I'll pay anything. I don't want your money. His smile could freeze fire. I want you to understand consequences. Please subscribe for more stories of love and justice. Kenji lifted me effortlessly. I wrapped my arms around his neck, breathing his familiar scent. Safety. Home. He settled me in his car. Classical music played softly. Warm leather seats. Perfect temperature control. Everything except his hands, which still shook while buckling my seat belt. Hospital, he told his driver. Then to me, "Hold on, my love." I squeezed his fingers. The baby moved again. Still there. Still fighting like her mother. As we pulled away, I looked back through the tinted windows. Through the glass doors, Hiroshi slumped against the wall. Surrounded by black suits. Trapped. 11 months ago, he'd thrown me away like garbage. Today, he'd kicked me while pregnant. Now he'd learned what it meant to cross Kenji Yamamoto. Justice was coming. And it would be complete. Tokyo General Hospital. Where we'd met. Where I'd lost Hiroshi's baby. Where a stranger had decided to save my life. Dr. Soto appeared within minutes. Not a regular doctor. The head of obstetrics herself. 20 minutes of examination. Ultrasound. Blood pressure. Physical checks. "Everything looks good," Dr. Soto smiled warmly. "Baby's heartbeat is strong. No complications. Just bruising and a sprained wrist. 48 hours of bed rest." Kenji's entire body sagged with relief. Once we were alone, I reached for his hand. "See? We're fine." He kissed my knuckles gently. "You're fine now. In our home where I can protect you. No more going anywhere without close security." I had security. Not close enough. His jaw clenched. "This is my fault." "This isn't your fault. It's his." Something dark flickered in Kenji's eyes. "Yes, it is his fault." "What are you going to do? What do you want me to do?" He studied my face carefully. I thought about Hiroshi's contempt. Yuki's cruelty. That rainy night 11 months ago. Being thrown out like trash. "I want him to lose something he can never get back," I said quietly. "Like I lost our son." Kenji's smile was cold and satisfied. "Then that's exactly what we'll do." At the penthouse, he drew me a warm bath with lavender oil. Helped me undress carefully. His fingers traced the bruises forming on my back. Each mark made his expression darker. "Don't think about revenge right now," I said softly. "Just be here with me." He slid into the bath behind me. Arms careful around my body. Hand resting on my belly where our daughter moved and kicked. "Tell me about that night," I whispered. "What you were thinking when you saw me in the street." Long silence. Then, I was coming from a bad meeting. Angry. Distracted. Suddenly you were there in the street. I knew I couldn't stop in time. His heart beat faster against my back. My driver grabbed the wheel. "We missed you by centimeters. When I got out, you were standing in the rain, crying like your whole world had ended." "It had ended," I said. "I know that now. Then I just knew someone had broken you so badly that death seemed better than living." His arms tightened slightly. "Then you collapsed. Started bleeding. I drove like hell to the hospital because I'd be damned if I let you die in the street." I twisted to face him. "You saved my life." "You saved mine too," he said, cupping my face. "I was becoming cold and empty. Then you came, broken and beautiful. Suddenly I had a reason to be more than the monster everyone feared." After the bath, he ordered my favorite ramen from the restaurant I loved. We ate in bed, me tucked against his side. Then his phone buzzed. "Tanaka here. Permission to begin the investigation." Kenji set down his chopsticks. "I need everything on Hiroshi Takeda. Every secret. Every crime. Anything we can use to destroy him completely." My hand went to my belly. Our daughter kicked as if agreeing. "Do it," I said firmly. "Once I start, I won't stop," Kenji warned. He took everything from me first. My dignity. My safety. My baby. So yes, I'm sure. He typed rapidly in Japanese. Hit send. "Tanaka will have a full report by morning." That fast? I employ very efficient people. Morning sun woke me 14 hours later. Kenji appeared with breakfast on a tray and his tablet. Tanaka finished. He pulled up files. Embezzlement from his family company. Gambling debts at underground clubs. Cocaine habit getting worse. He paused. But that's not the worst part. My heart raced. What? 8 months ago, high on cocaine, he hit a pedestrian with his car. A 20-year-old college student named Yuki Soto. She died instantly. My hand froze halfway to my coffee cup. He killed someone. His family made it disappear. Paid off police. Paid off witnesses. Found someone to blame. Who did they blame? I asked, though I already felt sick knowing the answer. The girl's own brother, Takeshi Soto. He's serving 10 years in prison for Hiroshi's crime. Oh my God. Tears filled my eyes. Tanaka recovered everything. Dashcam footage. Medical records. Text messages about the cover-up. Bank transfers to corrupt police officers. All of it. I set down my coffee carefully. My hands were shaking. An innocent man is in prison, while Hiroshi destroys people and walks away clean. That ends now, Kenji said firmly. The brother's family. I asked quietly. Single mother with cancer. Tanaka's voice came from the doorway. He'd entered silently. Poor medical care. Takeshi sends what little he can earn from prison work to help her. More tears came. Another family destroyed by Hiroshi's selfishness. Get him out. I looked at Kenji. Please. Get Takeshi out and help his mother. You're supposed to be thinking about revenge, Kenji said, but his eyes were soft. And you're thinking about saving strangers. That's what you did for me, I whispered. He kissed my knuckles. This is why I love you. Kenji turned to Tanaka. Best criminal attorney in Tokyo. Reopen the case immediately. Transfer the mother to Sakura Medical Center. Private room. Full-time care. All expenses covered. Yes, boss. Tanaka bowed and left. I leaned against Kenji. What's the plan now? We saved Takeshi. Now we destroy Hiroshi. Make sure everyone knows what he really is. His arm wrapped around me protectively. His family threw you away to protect their reputation. Let's see what that reputation is worth when the world knows their son is a murderer. We spent the day planning. Phone calls. Orders. Files piling up on the table. By evening, we had our strategy complete. We give his father a choice, Kenji explained. Turn Hiroshi in and cooperate with authorities. Or we release everything to the media and take down the entire Takeda family business. Why would he turn in his own son? I asked. Because he'll choose himself. He'll sacrifice Hiroshi to save the company. Kenji's smile was cold. Rich men always choose money over family in the end. And once Hiroshi's in custody, we make sure he never sees freedom again. That night, my phone buzzed with a message. Takeshi's attorney had filed an emergency motion. Monday hearing. Evidence was ready. 3 days. An innocent man might go free. A guilty one would face consequences. I smiled in the darkness, dreaming of cherry blossoms in spring. Chairman Takeda sat in his boardroom reviewing quarterly reports when his assistant entered. Her face was pale white. Sir, urgent package just arrived. Leave it on my desk. 5 minutes later, he opened it. All color drained from his face. His hands trembled badly. A dashcam photo slipped out onto the expensive mahogany desk. His son's Mercedes. Milliseconds before impact. A girl's terrified face visible in the headlights. Meeting adjourned, he said hoarsely. Everyone out. Now. He spread the contents across the table. Bank transfers with his own signature. Text messages about the cover-up. Medical records showing cocaine in Hiroshi's system. Witness statements that had been paid to disappear. The note was simple. Your son is a murderer. An innocent man sits in prison for his crime. You have 48 hours to turn him in. Or I release this to every media outlet in Japan. Choose wisely. No signature. Just a deadline. Chairman Takeda called his wife. Then the security firm holding Hiroshi. Bring him home. We need to talk. Hiroshi entered the family estate expecting salvation. His father always fixed everything. Always made problems disappear with money. But his mother sat rigid on the couch. Her usual composure was cracked and broken. His father stood by the fireplace, holding papers Hiroshi recognized with growing dread. "Sit down," his father commanded. "Father, that's psychopath Yamamoto." "Sit down." His father threw the evidence onto the coffee table between them. Photos scattered everywhere. "What did you do?" "You know what I did. You helped cover it up. Kenji Yamamoto sent me everything." Chairman Takeda's voice cracked like a whip. "The footage I paid to delete. The transfers. The witnesses. Everything." Hiroshi's stomach dropped through the floor. "We paid millions to protect you," his mother's voice broke. "And you brought this back by attacking Yamamoto's wife. A pregnant woman. In public. I didn't know who she married." "It doesn't matter," his father shouted. "You put your hands on a pregnant woman where everyone could see." Recognition dawned on Hiroshi's face. "You're throwing me away. To save yourselves." "We can't protect you from Kenji Yamamoto," his father said coldly. "Pay him off. We have money." "He doesn't want money. He wants justice. 48 hours or he destroys everything. The company. Our family name. All of it." Hiroshi felt his world crumbling. "So you're choosing the company over your own son?" "You chose this," his father said, voice like ice, "when you killed that girl. When you let an innocent man go to prison. When you touched Kenji Yamamoto's wife. You made these choices. Now live with the consequences. I'm your son. You're a liability." His father turned away. "Yuki's family already broke the engagement. Your face is all over social media. You've destroyed everything we built for 3 generations. Please, father. You should have thought about consequences before you became more trouble than you're worth." Hiroshi looked desperately at his mother. She turned her face away. "I'm sorry," she whispered, not meeting his eyes. But not sorry enough to fight for him. Hiroshi sat surrounded by luxury his family's corruption had bought. And understood clearly for the first time. He was alone. He'd always been alone. 6 a.m. the next morning. Prosecutor Yamada stood before cameras at Tokyo District Prosecutor's office. Behind her, photos of Yuki Soto. 19 years old. Smiling. Alive. 8 months ago, Yuki Soto was killed in a hit-and-run accident. Her family was told she was drunk. That another driver caused the accident. That driver is currently serving time. She paused for effect. That was a lie. Drop a comment telling me what you think should happen to Hiroshi. New evidence proves Yuki Soto was killed by Hiroshi Takeda while he was under the influence of cocaine. The Takeda family orchestrated a massive cover-up. An innocent man was imprisoned for Hiroshi Takeda's crime. The room erupted. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. Tokishi Soto has spent 8 months in detention for a crime Hiroshi Takeda committed. We're filing for his immediate release. We're also investigating everyone involved in the cover-up, including corrupt police officers and officials. By noon, every luxury brand dropped their sponsorships with Hiroshi. Friends blocked his number. His social media accounts were flooded with hate. Yuki, his former fiancée, gave a tearful interview. "I had no idea I was engaged to a monster. I'm horrified." I watched from our bed. Kenji sat beside me, laptop open. "She's good," I said. "Almost believable." "Self-preservation looks like remorse," Kenji said, closing the laptop. "But she's irrelevant now." "I want to see him," I said quietly. His head snapped up. "Absolutely not. Not face to face. But I want you to tell him something for me." Kenji studied my face carefully. "What?" "I want you to tell him I forgive him." "Amara." "Not for him. For me." I took his hand. "I need to let this go before it poisons our happiness." Kenji studied my face carefully. Then nodded slowly. "I can do that. But he needs to understand forgiveness doesn't mean escape." Tokyo Detention Center was grim. Grey walls. Fluorescent lighting. Industrial cleaner failing to mask unpleasant smells. Private visiting room. Metal table. 2 chairs. The guard gave them privacy. Hiroshi looked terrible. Designer clothes gone, replaced by grey prison scrubs. Hair limp and unwashed. Eyes hollow and desperate. You did this to me, he said bitterly. No, Kenji said casually. You did this. I just made sure everyone knew the truth. My father chose his company over his own son. The stock is already recovering. Publicly disowning a murderer is apparently good for business. Hiroshi's face crumbled. They abandoned me. Like you abandoned Amara, Kenji's voice was pleasant. Like you abandoned your son. Do you understand now? I didn't mean. The night I met her, she stood in front of my car in the rain. Know what she said to me? Pause. She said I have nothing left to live for. Your abandonment did that. I'm sorry, Hiroshi whispered. You're sorry you got caught. Silence filled the small room. What do you want from me? Hiroshi finally asked. I want you to think about the life you could have had, Kenji said coldly. A woman who loved you. A son. A real future built on something other than your family's money. His eyes were ice. Instead, you chose drugs, selfishness, running from every responsibility. You killed a girl and let an innocent man rot in prison. How long will I be here? 15 to 20 years, if you're lucky. Kenji stood to leave. Tokishi gets released on Monday. Full compensation from your family. His mother gets the best medical care money can buy. They get their lives back. And I lose mine. Yes. Kenji paused at the door. Oh, one more thing. Your family isn't broke. Your father threw you to the wolves to save the company. The stock is rebounding nicely. Your mother gave tearful interviews about failed parenting. They're fine. But I'm not, Hiroshi whispered. No. Amara is home with our daughter, preparing for her birth. You're exactly where you belong. Please. Amara wanted me to tell you something. Kenji looked back. She forgives you. Hiroshi's face went completely blank. She forgives me. She does. Because holding anger hurts her more than it hurts you. She let it go. She healed. She moved on. She's happy now. Understanding dawned. The cruelest kind. Forgiveness didn't mean freedom. It meant she was free. And he was trapped. The next day, I stood outside Tokyo Detention Center with Kenji. Winter sun broke through the clouds beautifully. Prison doors opened. Tokishi Soto emerged, blinking like a man surfacing from deep water. Thin. Wary. Scanning everything with distrust earned from 8 months of hell. He saw us and stopped. Who are you? I stepped forward carefully. Someone who understands being abandoned and blamed for things you didn't do. Kenji extended an envelope. Job offer at one of my companies. Apartment deed in Shibuya. Your mother's new medical facility information. Sakura Medical Center. Private room. Best cancer specialists in Japan. All expenses covered for life. Tokishi's hands trembled as he opened it. His face went through disbelief, hope, confusion, then overwhelming relief. He dropped to his knees and sobbed. Why would you do this for me? He asked through tears. Because the man who put you here hurt my wife, Kenji said simply. This is justice. You get your life back. He loses his. Tokishi looked up at me. You're the pregnant woman from the news. The one he pushed. Yes. I heard you lost a baby before. Because of him. My hand went to my belly where our daughter kicked strongly. I did. But I'm healing now. And you deserve to heal too. I'm nobody, Tokishi said quietly. Why do I deserve this? You made one choice under terrible pressure, Kenji corrected gently. That's not the same as killing someone and framing an innocent person. Not the same at all. Tokishi stood slowly. Thank you. I'll spend my life repaying this kindness. Live well. Be happy. Take care of your mother. That's payment enough. We drove him to Sakura Medical Center. Sunlit rooms. Garden views. Proper medication. Comprehensive care that his mother could never have afforded before. When she saw Tokishi, confusion flickered across her tired face. Then it cleared briefly. Tokishi. My boy. I'm home, mother. I'm finally home. Kenji and I left them in the garden. Tokishi held his mother, both of them crying with the relief of survival. One down, I said softly. Kenji wrapped his arm around me. Many more to go. 1 month after our daughter Sakura was born, I stood before a converted building in Roppongi. New Horizons Home, the sign read. 20 residential units. Counseling offices. Legal aid. Childcare center. Japanese language classes. Job training programs. Everything I'd wished for when I was alone and broken in Tokyo. Inside, Kenji held newborn Sakura while staff made final preparations. Tomorrow, our first 3 residents would arrive. Kyoma from Nigeria, left pregnant by a man who disappeared. Fatima from Morocco, fleeing violence. Anna from Brazil, stranded by visa fraud. I'd interviewed them all personally, seeing my own story reflected in their desperate eyes. It's perfect, I whispered. Kenji appeared beside me, Sakura sleeping peacefully in his arms. You're perfect. This isn't just a building. It's proof that terrible things can become beautiful. That rock bottom can be a foundation. The opening ceremony was small. Staff, volunteers, the 3 residents, a few donors. I stood at the podium with Sakura in a carrier on my chest. A year ago, I was at my lowest point, I began. Lost a child. Lost my partner. Lost all hope. Alone in a foreign country. Broken and ready to die. Kyoma nodded with deep recognition. Then I met someone who showed me that rock bottom can be a foundation. You can build anything if you refuse to stay down. I gestured to the 3 women. You were all at rock bottom. But you refused to stay down. You asked for help. That's the hardest part. Fatima wiped tears from her eyes. This foundation exists because someone believed in me when I had nothing. Now we believe in you. Genuine applause filled the room. 6 months later, I stood at a hotel ballroom podium. 200 faces watching. New Horizons Home had helped 43 women in just 6 months. Tonight's fundraiser would fund a second location. Sakura slept in Kenji's arms at the back. He caught my eye, smiled, nodded encouragement. A year ago, I was at my lowest. I repeated the words that had become my truth. Lost, alone, broken. Then I met someone who showed me rock bottom can be foundation. I gestured to the women in the audience. Maria started her own business. Kyoma enrolled in university. Fatima found a good job and reconnected with her family. The women we've helped were all at rock bottom. But they refused to stay down. With your help tonight, we can believe in even more women who need a second chance. Standing ovation. Tears. Hope. After the speeches, a young Japanese woman approached. Early 20s. Expensive clothes hiding fear and fresh bruises. Mrs. Yamamoto, I'm being hurt by my boyfriend. His family is powerful. I don't know how to leave safely. I took her trembling hands. You just took the hardest step. You asked for help. Let me show you what's possible. Kenji appeared, Sakura sleeping against his chest. What's his name? The woman hesitated, then whispered it. Kenji's expression didn't change. But I knew that look. That man's world was about to get very complicated. That night, our penthouse overlooking Tokyo. Sakura in her nursery, sleeping peacefully. Kenji and I on our balcony, his arms around me, watching city lights sparkle below. Do you ever think about him? I asked quietly. Hiroshi. Do you? I considered, watching Tokyo glitter with infinite possibilities. Sometimes I wonder if he regrets anything. If prison changed him. Does it matter? No. Not anymore. He's my past. You and Sakura are my present and future. Good answer. Kenji kissed my temple. Comfortable silence. This powerful couple who found love in tragedy. Who turned pain into purpose. Who built a family from broken pieces. Across the city in Tokyo Detention Center, Hiroshi lay awake. He'd been awake every night for 6 months. Thinking about the son he never knew. The woman he destroyed. The life he threw away. 14 years. 6 months left. 5,300 days to think about consequences. To understand that actions echo in ways you can never predict. To realize the woman he'd called a gold digger was actually gold. And he'd been too foolish to recognize it. When the letter arrived on Tuesday, he opened it with shaking hands. The handwriting was careful and clear. Hiroshi, I'm not writing this for you. I'm writing for me. To close this chapter completely. I forgive you. Not because you deserve it. But because carrying anger was poisoning my happiness. So I'm setting it down. I forgive you for abandoning me. For letting your family chase me into traffic. For not answering when I called about our son's death. For every cruel word. But forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. You're in prison because you killed someone and framed an innocent man. That's yours to carry, not mine. I hope prison gives you time to become better. I hope you think about the Soto family and what your selfishness cost them. I hope you find some kind of redemption. But mostly, I hope you find peace. Because I have. I found love. Purpose. Family. I found myself. Thank you for leaving me. Because if you hadn't, I never would have found him. Be well. Amara Yamamoto. Hiroshi read it 3 times. Carefully folded it. Placed it under his pillow. And for the first time in 6 months, he cried. Not for himself, though self-pity was there. But for everything lost. Everything destroyed. The woman he'd lost forever. The life he could have had.